A landing page is one of the best ways to increase your email sign-up rate and to get more subscribers onto your email list. Whether you're sharing a free training, a free checklist, or getting them to sign up for an event, a webinar, or anything like that, a landing page is there to make sure that the visitors take action that you want them to take, because by default, it's only focused on that one particular action and it's stripped down of any other unnecessary elements. And luckily, Squarespace makes it easier than ever to create a landing page. So you don't need any third-party software like Lead Pages or Unbounce or Instapages or anything like that. You can create a highly effective, high-converting landing pages right within Squarespace, and I'll show you how in today's tutorial. If you're new to this channel, my name is Ana Lea. I am the owner behind Lea Design Studio, where I create custom Squarespace websites and templates for small business owners like you. And here on this channel, I share tech and Squarespace tips to help you work smarter and not harder. So if that is something that interests you, hit that subscribe button. So I'm over here on one of my template websites, and we are going to use it to create a landing page. So in the Pages menu, under the Not Linked section, I'm going to click the plus sign and I'm going to start with a blank page. I'm going to name this landing page, but I recommend you name this with the name of your freebie, such as, I don't know, 10 mindset tips landing page or something, so that you know what the page is about when you're looking at it. This is especially useful if you have multiple freebies and multiple landing pages, so that you can easily tell which page is which. Now that the page is created, I'm going to go into edit mode and I'm going to add a section, and I'm going to add a blank section so that I have more control over what is in that section. Then I'm going to add a block of text and say, sign up for my amazing freebie. And we're going to make that heading 1. And then if you want, we can add another sentence such as, enter your email address to download it instantly. And I'm going to actually make this text center and drag it here. And then I'm going to add a newsletter form just to make things simple. If you're using something like ConvertKit or MailerLite or Flowdesk or something like that, then this is where you would enter the code from your email platform by clicking on the code block and then pasting the code that either ConvertKit or MailerLite or Flowdesk or any other platform gives you. I'm going to style this form a little differently, and by clicking on the pencil icon, I'm going to name it freebie sign up form, just so I can keep straight of the forms. And also, if you're using anything along the lines of like Zapier or Make to connect this with a different service, then you'll have an easier time recognizing which form you need to connect. Under the design, I'm actually going to make sure that the design is set to float, and I am going to require the name field. And for simplicity's sake, I'm going to keep this for set to thank you message, but we can also set up a redirect and redirect it to another page on your website. For the design, if you want, you can add a background, you can add a stroke around it or a blend mode. I'm not going to do that right now because I'm trying to keep this simple, and the purpose is creating a landing page, not actually styling the form. Here under storage, if you're using Squarespace email campaigns, then obviously you would need to select which email list you want to add them to. And if you want to send them a confirmation email, this is where you would edit it as well. So now that we have the form, I'm going to add a few more sections to this page. Make sure that this is centered, and I am going to edit the section by adding a background image, and we're just going to use something that we already have in the library. So I'm going to choose this image because honestly it's the first one that popped in. And I'm going to increase that overlay opacity and change the color of the section to this dark color. And I'm going to reduce the number of rows that we have here. And then what I like to do now, and I'm going to use a pre-made section, is I like to add a section of what you're going to learn in this freebie. Here's what you'll learn in this freebie, because this has been known to increase the number of conversions that you get. So I'm going to just use a simple numbered list and say number 1, awesome thing. Number 2, awesome thing. And number 3, awesome thing. Then I'm going to delete one of these images, and it actually helps if you have a freebie mockup, and luckily I have one right here, so I'm going to select that because it helps them to visually see what they're actually signing up for. So that is another thing that can increase the conversions on your landing page. And we can move this text box a little closer to the text, make it bigger like that or wider, and we can make the image slightly smaller like that. And now I'm going to reduce the size again. And then another thing that you can add is basically a little bit about you. So I'm just going to add another section where you can share information about yourself and just build that trust and give them a reason of why you're qualified to teach this thing. So I'm going to select another image that I have in the library. So we are going to go with this one. Then we can make it a fun shape so that it's not all the same. So we can do something like this maybe, or here, something like that. I'm going to say, hey, I'm Ana, and then I'm just going to copy over this text and paste it into this text box like that. Then I'm going to change the color to this light color like that so that we have a distinction between the sections. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy over this section and send it all the way to the bottom. And I'm going to change this thing to say, ready to experience this awesome benefit. You would replace this obviously with what the main benefit of your freebie is, and then you can leave the form as is down here. And that is the basics of creating a landing page. But in order to actually make this a true landing page, there's one more thing we need to do, and that is to remove this header and footer. Now, I have a past tutorial that actually shares a little bit of code that shows you how you can do this, but recently Squarespace rolled out an update where code is no longer necessary. And all we have to do is go under navigation and then toggle these options off. So basically you want to show header to be toggled off and show footer to be toggled off as well. And then you click save. And that gives you a landing page as it's meant to be. That is how you can easily create a landing page with Squarespace in 2024. Now, obviously, you also want to check the design on mobile devices and make sure that everything looks good and that it functions properly. This, honestly, I would just position this image, basically resize this image block and make sure that the contents is centered. And then for this image, I'll actually want it to be a little bigger on mobile, and the rest looks good. So I'm going to click save and exit. And that is it. And if you want to learn how to actually design a freebie in Canva and deliver it with Squarespace, I have a separate tutorial that walks you through that entire process. So definitely give that a watch. And if you want to learn more about creating a client-winning website, I have a free training for you called 5 Secrets of a Client-Winning Website that I'll link to in the description down below, so be sure to give that a watch. Thank you for being here and for watching this video. If you liked it, please consider dropping me a like on your way out, and I'll see you in the next one.